Good morning, guys. Sal's back again today. I hope you are having a fantastic day today, no matter what time of day you watch this. I just noticed that I look really rough. We were on the road all day yesterday, coming back from San Antonio. We left early in the morning. We got back really late at night with 3 little kids in the car. It's about a 12-hour drive. So when you travel like that, it takes a lot out of you. So I am tired this morning, and I woke up a little bit late, so I didn't have time to shave. So that's why I'm looking so tired and rough. But I've got a lot going on today. Before we get to that though, I got something exciting came in the mail while I was gone. I got this new video microphone. That'll be really handy. But more than that, I got this. I'll lay it all out and then I'll video it. I got all this from Moment. I was hoping I would get this before I went on my trip, but it came the day after I left. I got a case for my phone, and then all these are lenses that I can just clip right into this case. And so they can do different things. I won't go into them all now, but the thing I'm most excited for is this right here. This is a variable ND filter. What ND stands for is neutral density. So to adjust the neutral density, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. See how it changes the way everything looks a little bit? That's just kind of washed out a little bit, they call it. Whereas when you put that on there, it makes it more like what your eye would see naturally. So that's a really cool piece, and you can adjust that in multiple different settings. And you have to use this here. You just screw that onto this, and then it clips right into the case. So I'm going to put it all together now, and we'll see what it looks like. It is a crazy busy morning already. I've already been loading this dumpster up with loads of junk coming in like that. And then the impound yard is bringing me cars. They're lining them up down the road. They have about 14 or 15 to bring today. I've got all this stacked full still. I was going to try to clean up. I bought 15 more cars right across the street. I got to get moved today. So if everybody shows up, I've got about 45, maybe 50 cars coming in today. So it's going to be a busy day. I'm not sure how much filming I'll do, but we'll see what happens. Seems crazy, but I wish we had some Texas weather up here. It is way hotter and way more humid up here in Kansas than it is down in Texas by the Gulf, which is just insane to me that it's that way, but Kansas has some weird weather sometimes. Here comes another one. One after another. It's filling up fast out here. So all that space I cleared out last week, I'm gonna have to fill it all back in now. On all these impound cars, they're mostly complete cars, so I have to rip the hoods open on each one of them. I got to pull the batteries out, the catalytic converters, aluminum wheels, and then drain the gas out of them. And then they're ready for the crusher. Now these cars here aren't like the last impound cars that I did a video on. If you remember that, they were full of cool stuff. These here are all ones that were in people's yard and that sort of stuff that were abandoned in that type of way. And so there's really nothing good in them. They're mostly just trash and rotted junk. Stacking them up. I'll go ahead and open a couple of these trunks. Make sure there's nothing in them. It looks like there may actually be some good stuff in that one. We'll look through it here in a second. All right, let's see what's in here. Got a skateboard, Speed Demon, and I've got a motorcycle engine. Let's see if we can figure out what this one is. 248, so it's a 250, whatever it is. Looks pretty rough. Not sure what it is. I can get it out of here. Roll it over. Honda 250. I don't know. I'll look it up here in a second. Maybe it's worth saving. Got some charcoal. Got a suitcase full of stuff. It's full of air mattresses. That's a lame thing. I don't want no air mattresses. See if there's anything else good in there. Nope, not really. Another junk skateboard. Maybe some antifreeze. Nope, it's empty. Man, there is nothing good in this one. Grill cleaner, but you should never use the wire brush grill cleaners because these little wire brushes can come off in your grill, and then you eat them, and then they get stuck in your stomach or your intestines, and it's just bad news. Guitar Hero. Man, nothing good. I think I'm gonna throw the skateboard back in there, close that trunk, and that's it. This one just came in. It's got a set of Camaro rims on it. Those are kind of neat. They used to sell good, but they're just junk aluminum now. This is the 13th car I bought today. They drove this one out, hit the switch, fires right up. But it's just an old, beat up, rusty Camry. Wrecked and just not much good. The windows don't roll up. He said he just didn't want it no more. He drove it out last week and he said he had to take it back home and clean it out. So he drove it back out today and sold it for scrap. That hood didn't want to cooperate with the hood latch, so I made it cooperate with the loader. People often ask me, what do you do with cars that run and drive when you get them? And this is what I do. That right there. Here's number 16 for the day. Hyundai Santa Fe. I like these cars, Hyundais and Kias, because they almost always have high dollar converters on them. And this one should have 3 converters on it. So that'll be a good payday on this one. This old truck looks like it wasn't too bad until somebody totaled it out. I haven't looked inside it yet. Nah, not too bad. Anything good? Some 22 bullets, padlock with no key, some sunflower seeds. Nothing good. There's a nickel and a dime and some pennies on the floor. I'll grab those. But other than that, I think this one's ready for the crusher. Sometimes they hide the batteries in these things in weird places. Like this HHR, I had to rip the back door open, stick it down in there to get the battery. So you never know what you're gonna have to do, but with the loader, it's a whole lot easier. In addition to 16 cars, I've also bought about 7 tons of scrap iron. I just bought this tank and a shopping cart. Kind of a random combination, but they're fairly heavy. So I buy a lot of iron in addition to cars. Ooh, it's been a busy morning, but it's finally lunchtime. Just bought these. This is the second load of these. I think there's 2,300 pounds in this pile. Old copper radiators a guy had behind his house for years and years and years. He passed away, then his wife passed away, and his son finally cleaned it up. Getting quite the pile of cars stacked up. Those are all the ones that have been processed. All I have to do on those now is pull the aluminum wheels. And I still have a row of them down here and a bunch stacked up over there. So I'm slowly getting it done. Got this load of miscellaneous scrap from the same guy that brought the radiators. Looks like at one time there was some pretty neat stuff in there. Old hubcaps, old Fords, old Volkswagens, bunches of random stuff. This is the only piece I saved though. That's off a 67 Thunderbird. It's no good for anything, but it's just a neat wall hanger. That's my favorite car, a 67 Thunderbird. I have one that's about 50% restored, frame off restoration. And then I've bought and pulled a bunch of converters today. This is one of the ones off that Hyundai. It's a fairly good one. The other ones back there, they weren't as good as I was hoping they were, but I bought a bunch of these today. These here are almost always good. And then this here came off a Corvette. These two here, I don't remember what the rest came off of, but it's been a busy day so far. Lawnmowers, rear ends, trailers, you name it, it all comes in. We just bought a bunch more cars right across the street from us. This whole row of cars here, and these two out front. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab these and take them back over to the yard. This Explorer is number 1, so I'm just gonna start with number 1 and work my way down the line. This is the easiest way to do it. It's only 2 blocks, or a block and a half really. So I just drive over here with the loader, I grab them and I carry them back. I'll set this down and adjust the forks a little bit on it to where it's a little bit more secure. Yeah, it's a public street, but I've done this before, never had an issue. We usually buy about 100 cars a year from this guy, but he's retiring, so he sold us the last of his cars. I don't know what's wrong with any of them. There may be nothing wrong with them. I really don't know. I don't ask questions. If they have proof of ownership, I buy them. I had to go out of order a little bit. This is number 3. That one's number 2, but I couldn't get to that one until I moved this one. So we'll do that. And I've got that whole row there. And there's a couple more out back, and that big red dump truck goes as well. A couple of these don't go. I forget which ones. I don't think the blue Chevy goes. I'll have to see which other ones don't go. But we put numbers on all the ones that do. Yeah, I was right. The blue Chevy truck does not go. And the blue Crown Vic over there does not go. But this white Astro van goes. The minivan, let me get this to focus. And I think it's a Sebring, the Explorer, and the white Chevy truck go. And there's some more back there. Got them all up the front row. I just got these two back here, well, three counting that dump truck. But the dump truck, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on it yet. I may hang on to it. They parked it right where it's sitting. But I've got those two back there yet to get out. All this stuff goes as well. There's a pile of engines, a ton of hubcaps, lawnmowers, rototillers. I don't know what all's in here, but there's a bunch of stuff. Looks like that's a flatbed there. There's more rolling in there. There's some that are getting ready over there, getting the tires off of them. And then I've got my road pretty well full. And then I packed inside over there. All this area I've got stacked with cars. This truck here only has like 80,000 miles on it. It's a 98 Dodge truck, half-ton V8, but the motor got water in it. But the interior was mint, the body is mint, everything on it was mint. I had a good motor for it. I tried to sell the whole works for a couple $1,000s. Nobody was interested, so I sold the seat and the dash out of it and the hood and the wheels and tires. And now I'm going to go ahead and crush the rest of it. I've advertised it for sale or parts off of it for sale for the last 6 months. And I had a lot of people want things like the doors and the bed and stuff like that, but I asked $50 a piece for the doors. Everyone said that's just way too high. I was asking $200 for the bed, and everybody told me that was way too high. So I'm done at this point. It's in the way. And I bought 31 cars today, and I don't have anywhere left to put anything. So I'm just in here making room right now, crushing like crazy. It has just been a crazy day. This is my road. My road is completely blocked in with cars now because so much came in. I got to pull the battery out of this one yet, and they can go on to the shredder. Tons and tons of cars. I don't know where all these cars came from. And that's just what came to this yard. We have multiple yards, and stuff came into the other yards as well. So I don't know where it all comes from, but it never seems to slow down. And so for those that ask me, why don't you sell parts? That's why. Because if I was to shut down to sell a $20 part here and a $30 part there, I'd go bankrupt in a hurry. I'm not going to go chasing after pennies and step over dollars. That just seems silly to me. But I do get it. Different markets are different. In some areas, parts do really well and scrap doesn't. But around here, parts are virtually worthless. You have to beg people to buy them, and then they want them to be perfect and have a lifetime guarantee. And every salvage yard in this area has gone bankrupt from trying to sell parts. And we've done pretty good for ourselves. So I'm just really not interested in selling parts. I worked so hard last week to get a bunch done out here, haul a ton of cars in, and in one day, I undid everything I did last week and then some. It's worse now than what it was when I got here. So you can see how that would be a little bit stressful, but we'll get through it. And at some point in time, I may just have to lock the gates and shut it down and turn my phone off and say, we're not buying for a little while. And I've done that before. I don't really like doing that, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Let's talk about something more exciting and upbeat. I'm locking everything up now. I'm gonna go get me something cold to drink, run to the store, get some stuff for tomorrow, and then at 6:30, I've got to go pick up an antique bicycle, and they might have a couple more old bicycles for me. So that'll be cool. I really like bicycles still. Don't know why. I never have time to ride them anymore, but every now and then I'll buy one, look at it for a couple weeks, and then turn around and sell it. I don't know, just a bad habit, I guess. But as long as I can make a little bit of money on the deal, I guess it's worth it. So I went to pick up this old bicycle. This is an early 60s Sears Flightliner, which is kind of interesting because Sears made the Spaceliner and J.C. Higgins made the Flightliner. They were the same bike, just different names. Both made by Murray. You can always tell a Murray frame, these pointy tips on the ends of them here. But it's got the little reflectors on the back. It's just really interesting how it's a Sears Flightliner. So I had to have it, went ahead and bought it. I think it's all original. Has a tag on it there. It's got a Wichita tag and they put a Hutchinson sticker over it. So that's neat. I think these are the original tires, even Sears Allstates. So that's really neat how it's literally all original. You don't see that very often, other than the seat. The seat has been replaced, but I have some extra original seats, so I can swap that out. But while I was there, I wound up buying an old saddle. Now, old saddles aren't that uncommon here in Kansas. It's in pretty good shape, got a little bit of condition issues. It'll clean up, somebody will buy that. But then I bought these old lobster traps. I mean, it's not like I have a chance to buy a lobster trap every day in Kansas. I don't know how they got here exactly. I guess they had kids that lived down in Texas, so I'm guessing that's where they came from, is down there. Which is really interesting. It's not something you get to see very often around here. So that was pretty cool. 3 of those. This in here is in pretty good shape. The other 2 have broken spots on them. I had to have them. I don't know what they're worth, but I'll probably never get a chance to buy another one, so why not? Good morning, guys. Back again today. I didn't finish the video out yesterday. I had a few more things I wanted to do today. Main thing is I want to take you guys over there to where I got those cars and show you what's on the concrete slab and all that, so I don't add it to the next video and then nobody knows what I'm talking about. So I'll just keep it all within the same video. So we'll do that, maybe crush a couple cars, and then we'll end it. So come along. All right, here we go. We got this flatbed. Now that I look at it closer, it's got a lot of rust in it. So I'm probably just gonna go ahead and scrap it. I don't know anything about these mowers and rototillers and that sort of stuff, so I'm just gonna scrap it all. I might hang on to the cement mixer. Sometimes those have some value. All the rest of this, all these engines have been laying out here in the rain for years, so more than likely all of those are gonna go to the scrap. As far as what's in the back of this old dump truck, I'm not entirely sure what's in there. Looks like a bunch of just junk plastic hubcaps, a bunch of the scrap metal. All that's just gonna go to the shredder. The truck itself, I will hang on to for now. It's got a set of chrome gauges in it. One quick tip on these gauges here, they use this style of gauges in the big trucks up until the mid to late 70s, somewhere in there. And these will fit right in your 67 to 72 half-ton trucks. You just have to redo the wiring, but they bolt right in, no problem. And that's why they sell pretty good. Now this one here, like I say, it's been cut out to put the tack in it, but it is an interesting tack and it does match pretty good, so they'll still sell. The ones with the factory tack bring the biggest money. I'm sure this was a nice vehicle when it was new, but I'm gonna go ahead and just grab it, take it over and smash it later today. And then we got all these old hubcaps inside these baskets, which the baskets themselves, I'll probably hang on to those. Those are a stand. Those will sell. The hubcaps, I'll decide on. Probably not gonna hang on to them. And then all that there just looks like scrap metal. Man, that felt good to crush some cars. I haven't got to push a button and watch a car get smashed in months. It's been about 3 months now I haven't got to do that. So I feel way better now. I got all those cars over there to crush. I'll probably crush most of those today. So I'm gonna have a ton of fun today, just crushing and smashing. That's all for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. And remember, get out there, find an adventure. We'll see you next time.